Cool. So some of you guys know that I take public speaking classes, and one of the things that my coach teaches is speaking at the rate of no clutter. What that means is speaking at a controlled speed where you don't have to use filler words like like, or other filler words that are unique to you that you've made up. Also, as part of that is no false starts. False starts are when you start a sentence, go one direction, and as you get into the sentence, realize that you should actually be going in a different direction, and you restart that sentence or redirect. So, no better way than to just practice and do it. So, you guys know the thoughts that I talk about, a lot of them are written in my journal, have come through and through multiple times. Sometimes it's just the thought that I have for this week. And this week happens to be the idea of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I feel like this is the right topic today because I just sat down with a friend, caught up with a friend for coffee today for 4 hours, way longer than I thought. And we hadn't seen each other in a while, but in that 4 hours conversation, it was very easy to talk to each other, and the conversation is very productive, I think is the right word, whereby we're sharing helpful ideas to each other, helping each other understand the problems that we're going through, and brainstorming potential solutions. And so it made me think a lot about how important it is to be around people that help you improve. And this is not to say eliminate anyone that doesn't share the same values or interests as you. Interestingly enough, actually earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, a few months ago, I posted a poll, a thought that I had in my journal last year. And it was something along the lines of, should you be friends with people that have different values and interests as you? Something along those lines. My initial thought was, no, it's not conducive to you acting in the way that you want to be, i.e. exercising your values. Surprisingly enough, followers on Instagram actually thought very differently. It was overwhelmingly yes, that you can be friends with people who have different values and interests as you. And so it's one of those moments where I reflected and tried to think of that alternative perspective. So by no means, I think, is it about cutting out everyone that is unlike you. And I say that because I think having and experiencing different perspectives and thoughts is so powerful. One of my mentors said to me one time, the quality of the decisions that you can make are just a function of what you know. Think about that. The decisions that you're able to make are predicated on the information that you have. If you have a limited amount of information, then you're going to make a limited decision. That decision is going to be short. For example, I like to think careers is one of the things that I like to think about most. And I think about sometimes all the roles and job positions out there that I don't even know about. Think about an extreme example. If a marketing role was not aware to you, how can you even evaluate if a marketing job or a career in marketing is right for you? Kind of crazy, right? And so when I think about it from that lens, I enjoy perspectives from people that are so different than me, because I know I may never encounter that information living on my own accord. It's kind of the idea of you don't know what you don't know. And by experiencing those other people, this whack information gets thrown at me, and I get to then evaluate it for myself. That's key, evaluating it for yourself. So that's where I think those people bring value. I think it's then very important to draw the line to not let those people influence you, whereby bad habits can seep into you either by you developing those same bad habits or those bad habits that other people exhibit, slowing you down and limiting your own performance. I think back to an experience I had my first year here in New York, where I was walking the streets of my campus and I passed two girls who were speaking, pretty loudly. And they were just absolutely shit-talking their friend group, saying something like, I hate this girl for that. That girl is a, bitch for doing X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And it was a powerful moment for me. I think about it a lot to this day, because when I first came to school, I was afraid of not having friends. First semester here. And I took on the mentality of, I want to meet as many people as possible, make as many friends as possible. But having that experience helped put some things into perspective for me, because all around you observe big friend groups, everybody hanging out with a ton of people, everybody looks like they have a ton of friends, but I kind of saw the inner workings of friend groups with that interaction. A lot of friend groups, maybe there are 2 or 3 core friends or core to you, but it's very likely that not everyone gets along. And I think that's okay, it's quality over quantity. And quality, by definition, is going to have to be scarce. You're not going to be able to go out into the street and make it so that everyone that you meet is a type of person that shares the values and ambitions that you have. It's just very unlikely. But it is so diverse out there that I think whatever you're into, there is going to be a person that is able to help you. I think, to my own experience, surrounding myself with peers that are interested in accomplishing what I want to accomplish, being a real estate investor, being a business owner, family oriented, helping support my family, sports, having a athletic lifestyle, having those people around me, that support network, is what's allowed me to continue going in that direction. Having older people in my life, mentors, people that I met during my college experience by cold emailing them, who've gone through experiences that I'm going through right now, and they're many steps ahead of me. That has been tremendously helpful. Anyways, I just think it's something to be cognizant of. Again, this is not about cutting out everybody that's unlike you. There's a lot of friends that I now recognize, have very different interests, hobbies, ways of living than me, but I have so much fun with them. When I'm with them, it's all laughs, very chill, and that's an important part of life too. So, anyways, that's the thought for this week via some life events. This is a thought that I've had a lot, because, as I've gone through my time in college these last 3 years, I've met a lot of people and recognized that I could not be friends with everybody. So, very, very prevalent thought for me. Anyways, you guys can feel free to shit on my public speaking skills in the comments. You could be totally raw. They're not gonna hurt my feelings. Honestly, if you've made it this far, I have you to thank. You guys are what makes this possible, and I love doing this. So, thank y'all. Y'all mean everything.